Let's move now to the Upper West region where robbers shot and killed two police officers last night. The two officers are said to have arrived at the scene of a robbery at the Swarungo market when the robbers shot at them. The patrol motorbike they were riding on is said to have exploded when a bullet hit the fuel tank. Robbers who shot and killed two police officers in the area last night. The police have since placed a 50,000 bounty on the criminals who are on the run. Let's speak with correspondent Albert Story with updates on this one. Albert Story, what's the latest on this incident?
Yeah, so Aisha, as you rightly said, the police have put a 50,000 Ghana cedi bounty on them. And so whoever is able to volunteer information that can lead to the arrest of these robbers will take that reward. The IGP, Dr. George Akufu Dampari, has been visiting this area today, and he's taking time to assure the residents that they are doing everything within their power to arrest these criminals and bring them to book. He's visited the chief of the area. He's also been to the regional coordinating council to meet with the regional minister, and later to the regional police headquarters where he met the police officers as well. And he's basically been giving them the assurance that he is with them in this time and encouraging them to continue with their work and not to be deterred by what has happened today. By what has happened last night. Now, one of the things that came up in the course of all of this was that the police want the public to volunteer information and to also support the police in all of this, because these were officers who were on duty last night and they stumbled basically on this robbery scene and the robbers shot at them. Now, one of the things that also happened was that just to go back to how this all happened, last night at about 8 p.m., police received information that a robbery attack was taking place here in Zwarungu. And
so Albert, sorry. Go ahead, Albert.
Hello, Aisha, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
So while they were mobilizing men to come to the scene, what happened was that these two officers were on patrol on a motorcycle in the town as well. And just around the time the robbery were taking place, they were also passing. We are currently at the place, and one of the things the residents here have told us was that they actually stopped to buy food from a woman just by the street. And when the robbers spotted them, they assumed that being robbed by these robbers.
Albert Sorry is our man in the Upper East region. He's trying to paint a picture of what has happened with the murder of these two policemen. Remember,
these police officers were attacked. Now, Aisha, if you will permit me, where I'm standing now is exactly where the police officers were shot. Just by this shed here. We're told that they stopped just here, the background behind me, to buy fried yam from a woman who was doing her business yesterday. And from where I was standing earlier, one of the robbers who was keeping watch while the others held their victim hostage in his shop warned him to go back, and he was firing warning shots. And everything just escalated from there. They were standing right here on this spot. This place that you see down here, basically is the debris of what happened where they were standing, the burning of the motorbikes, and even I can see remains of one of the officers' boots in the gutter here. And so the mobile money vendor we spoke to, whose interview we'll bring later on to our viewers, was basically explaining to us that one of the police officers actually fell into the gutter after he was shot, and he was still alive. The other one had already died, and his body was burning. The other one was trying to escape, and the robbers came closer, and one of them ordered that he should be shot because he was still trying to escape. It's a very disheartening story that was narrated to us earlier today. And I've taken time to actually look at everything that is here. The police have already visited this crime scene and taken the information that they need. And so we are permitted to be here. But that's basically how these two men lost their lives untimely yesterday here in Zuarungu. The residents have also been talking to us, and one of the things they're saying is that for most of them, this is the first time they have witnessed something like this. There's a woman who told us it was her second time, but then they are hoping that the police will be able to bring these culprits to book. Some of the shops, in fact, the other shops opposite the one that was robbed have not also opened. We suspect out of trauma by what happened last night. A lot of the residents that we spoke to also are traumatized by what happened here yesterday. In fact, most of them didn't even want to be interviewed on camera. The few of them who volunteered to speak to us said that they are saddened by what has happened, but they are also, relieved by the assurances that the IGP gave them when he visited them and addressed them this morning. Aisha.
Albert Sorry is our Upper East Regional Correspondent. Christie Fury is Acting Director General of Public Affairs Department of the Ghana Police Service. He has joined us right now for more. ACP, thanks so much for joining us. First, what's the briefing you've received with regards to the murder of these two police officers?
Thank you very much. The Inspector General of Police, Dr. Yoyekupu Dampare, has said it all that the police will do whatever it takes, to get the perpetrators of this kind of crime, and that he has put a cash reward of 50,000 cedis in place. Whoever comes with a credible information, and that might lead to the arrest of the suspect is much welcome. Again, we've also put in special intelligence-led ops in place to make sure that we track them and get them arrested to face justice. All that we were saying, no matter the reportage, from your regional correspondent and what police is doing, it is a very sad event, a very sad moment for the people who witness this dastardly act. And all that we will say for now is the police is so determined, to fight crime no matter where it's coming, even at the peril of our lives. The IGP has assured the chiefs, the Upper East Regional Police Command, and the community in which the act took place, that they will do whatever, to establish police authority and primacy, and to make sure that good enforcement of the law takes place in that jurisdiction. Meanwhile, he has trust in the regional police commander and his men to deliver.
Now, ACP, there's also a gruesome murder of a young lady at Pakoso in Kumasi. The killer, who residents believe could be behind series of murders in that area. What briefing have you had with regards to this incident also?
Thank you. All that I would say is the investigation is ongoing. We are with the Ashanti Regional Commander at the moment, and I believe the coming days, the coming times, we might come out with more detailed information regarding what you've asked.
Now, this brings us to the general security of the country. I mean, there's been cause to worry about the seeming increase in armed robbery, murder, and other criminal activities in the country. Is the police overwhelmed with the situation?
You might have noticed that the police are on top of their activities. There is a general good security throughout the country, though there have been certain instances, like what we witnessed yesterday, that calls for public conversation on security. But you might have seen the massive deployment done, not only in the capital city, Accra, Kumasi, the Northern Corridor, in the Brand Place, So you can see that sort of ground security operations going on. And as we move closer to Christmas, we are still on hold. I mean, we holding security dear to our house, we realize it, and we can our duty.
I think we're losing ACP Christie Fury there. Let's try and ACP, if you could reposition yourself because you're making a very important point.
I believe that
yes, it's clearer now. It's clearer now.
Yes. So all that I'm saying is, we are determined to deliver, and we're delivering a whole lot of security products across the country. Ghana will remain a peaceful country at all times, but those who have decided, you know, to engage in violent crimes will be met with the full force of the service in accordance with law. And for this Christmas, you might have also noticed that there are a lot of exercises taking place all over the country, not only in the capital city and the regional capital. We are everywhere, and we will continue to make sure that we bring security to bear. Yesterday incident, these fine young police officers were on their normal patrols when they were suddenly, you know, attacked. It is very regrettable, very painful event. But all that I can say is that no matter what the criminals intend to do, we are ready to reverse it. We are ready to make sure that we create that desirable security for all, even at the peril of our lives.
ACP, I have a hold for a minute for me because I would be delighted for you to share with me your plan for this Christmas, at least before, during, and after the festive season. But let's bring in security analyst Adib Sani, who does a lot of research into this area. Adib, I'm grateful for your time. First, too many murders in recent times. Now it's the police who are being murdered. What's your preliminary observation of what has happened?
Well, first of all, let me say good afternoon to you, your viewers, and of course, ACP Christie Fury. They are doing a great job out there, and they need the support of the public. Like I always say, we are fighting the criminals. I mean, IGP Dampari came with renewed energy. The police has implemented a number of interventions aimed at improving the security situation in the country. As a matter of fact, some successes have been chalked. In recent days, we hear of armed robbers killed here and there. We've heard of intelligence-led operations that have succeeded in apprehending some robbers not too long ago. An intelligence-led operation led to the killing of some robbers at around Shiashi after they robbed someone of his money near a bank at airport. So some successes have been chalked. But like I always contend, when you fight the criminals would fight back. They seem to be losing the battle. So they are using all sorts of desperate means to get back at us, so to speak, to, as it were, send a clear message that, hey, we are still in charge. But it's quite obvious that they are not in charge. And like I always say, the police cannot do the work alone. They need us. Without the support of the general population, it will be almost impossible for the police to do their job. That is why it is imperative that citizens are educated to understand that they also have a role to play so far as policing is concerned. If you have any information that can lead to a criminal.
Adib Sani, we are losing you. Adib Sani, if you can kindly position yourself well for me. And as you try to do that, let me bring in... Yes, you're back and it's loud and clear. Yes, Adib, go ahead. Yes, we can hear you, Adib. Go ahead.
Sorry. So, like I indicated, I don't know where it ended before the audio went off, but it is imperative that the citizens cooperate with the police. The police cannot do the work alone. If you have any information that can lead to the capture of a dangerous criminal, why do you keep it? Citizens would have to be made to understand that they have a role to play so far as policing is concerned.
Now, what could be accounting for this? I mean, what is your research pointing to, Adib?
Well, a lot of it has to do with our inability to invest so much in situational crime prevention, and it's hinged on a theory in criminology called rational choice. Aisha, before anyone perpetrates a crime, according to criminologists, the persons are humans. They are able to juxtapose the risk against the reward. I mean, so the probability of you getting caught, if it is high, you would naturally be disincentivized from perpetrating the crime. But if you feel that if I perpetrate this crime, the likelihood I'll be caught is very low, then, I'll be encouraged to perpetrate the crime in the first place. So if we are able to improve on crime and investigation, on the investigation processes, go beyond the manual way of doing things, resort to electronic means, the forensics. We need more forensic analysts within the police service. That should be able to improve the investigation processes, and that would invariably get more people to refrain from even perpetrating the crimes in the first place. Secondly, we have some deep-rooted socioeconomic and geopolitical deficits in our society that is pushing a lot more people into uncertainty and into, criminal behavior. And if we are able to deal with these human insecurities, people not having access to basic necessities of life, such as water, such as food, such as a means to a living, it pushes them into uncertainty. And of course, that is why a lot more people would go into crime. Mind you, some people go into crime because they are opportunists. Others go into crime as a means of survival. That is in no means to rationalize crime in the first place. But if we appreciate all of these nuances, governments and of course civil society and other bodies should be able to put in place certain mechanisms to improve the situation, so we would have less and less people wanting to go into the criminal enterprise.
Adib, now there's a 50,000 reward for anybody who helps the police unravel the perpetrators behind this crime. There are other crimes to be dealt with. Now, what would you want to see in unraveling the truth behind this crime, for instance?
Well, Aisha, thankfully, we have security cameras all over town. I don't know whether it is operational in other parts of the country, but in Accra and other urban areas, they are operational, and that could help. The first 24, 48 hours is of the essence, and I'm particularly excited that ACP Christie Fury is on the line, and I'm sure he would agree with me. The first 48 hours is critical. And like I indicated, the police cannot do it alone. So if any member of the public has any information, that should be, within the shortest possible time, be given to the police. At the same time, we should resort to the use of forensics, and perhaps that would also, to a large extent, help. Because the more time delayed, the more complexing it becomes, even though there are some investigations that can take several years, and in the end, it is unraveled. But for now, I think that the actions of these criminals has created some level of apprehension. That is why it's critical that the police and other national security agencies will have to bring their resources to bear, collaborate, so we are able to catch these criminals within the shortest possible time.
Now, ACP Christie Fury, I'm sure you're still there. As we approach Christmas, I want you to share with me what the plan is for the police. Hello, ACP Christie Fury. I'm asking what the plan is for the police, because Ghanaians are looking forward to some assurances. What exactly is the plan to ensure safety before, during, and after the festivities?
One, to contain all manner of crimes, to make sure that the police are out there, visibly out there, to enforce the laws of the country, allay the fear of crime, and make sure that we are everywhere, to provide better services for our people. You might have seen massive deployment in Accra and all the regional capitals on our roads, among others. And therefore, this Christmas, we have would be and doing everything possible, tailored towards the free event. And then let me also use this opportunity that the cash reward that the Inspector General has put in place. They are driving to the good people of this country. They are driving to share responsibility. And that whatever they are putting, if crime, any other crime, people should volunteer information to the police. And with this particular one, the Zwarungu one, they can contact the regional police commander, the divisional district commanders, and offer information. We also have the intelligence services on the ground. We can also approve them and offer them information that might lead to that. But let me say that we would not be taken aback with this action of the criminals, and that will be at the forefront of fighting crime, serving our people better, and even at the peril of our lives, we will do it. We've sworn, to work for the good people of this country, and the leadership is doing everything possible, to move us on and do a better job for our country, men and women.
Adib, as we approach Christmas, what should be the approach, especially from the police and the individuals at the individual level?
That symbiotic relationship is there. That goodwill is there. It is a question of exploiting that relationship. And as I said, the police are out there, visibly out there. Undertaking coordinated, police operations, static, vehicular, and foot patrols. The intelligence-led aspect is also very huge and is working. And let me put some up. That taking into consideration those who have been committing crimes. For instance, the day live robberies in Accra, we've been able to stop it. We've been able to arrest several people as indicated by the Inspector General of Police, and they are presently caged. And we've done a lot of special internal tax operations aimed at weeding out criminals, and that has also been done, and we will not be caught by this development. The police are on top, security is on top, though we've recorded certain events, certain types of criminal activity that call for public conversation. That does not suggest that the police are underdogs in this regard. We will continue to maintain the security of this country with all our energies, and good efforts will be made towards that. This is a well-directed effort led by the Inspector General, and lo and behold, we shall succeed.
Adib, what should be the approach for the police and also for the individuals?
One thing is promoting officer safety. Officer safety is very paramount. That during their patrols, during their engagement in the communities out there on the road, they should be very mindful and make sure that their personal security stands high in spite of risk associated with our work or risk associated with police all over the world. It is not a rosy job. And we will do that. And we also advise members of the public, to be very security conscious, to be very alert. And when incidents happen, they should be able to provide accurate information to the police. And this one, we are working closely with community.
Okay, Aisha.
ACP Fury, I'm grateful for your time. Yes, Adib Sani, you are on.
Okay, so I guess ACP wasn't hearing that. Okay, so I think it is important to recognize the 4 types of crime that is usually more prevalent during the festive season. We have robberies because obviously people should have withdrawn lots of monies from the bank as you go into the holidays. So criminals feel that since people have a lot of money on them, they can go after it. Then secondly, we have property crime, where usually people leave their homes for all-night services. They have gifts in their homes, and so the criminals feel this is a unique opportunity for them to break into homes to steal all sorts of gifts. We have others coming from all over the world to join their families at home, and as they come home, They come with different types of gifts, and criminals feel this is the right time to come after it, to go for it. Then we have issues with cyber criminality. When you go on social media, you see a lot of promos, left, right, center. That is why it is critical for Ghanaians to exercise a great deal of circumspection before they purchase things online. Someone can create sort of, just an example, a Melcom page on social media and make it look like you pay who deliver it to you. So please be very, very careful before you pay. Always go and look whether there are comments, whether there are reviews before you pay. I know of a lady who recently bought items worth about 3,000 cedis. She paid and the items were never delivered. Then she went back to the page and realized that they had disabled the comment section. So nobody can complain that I have bought before and it wasn't delivered to me. So you need to take note of that. And the last one are opportunistic criminals. We invite artisans into our homes during this festive season because we need some upgrade. Carpenters, masons, and others, artisans. When we invite them, sometimes we give them unfettered access to all corners of the house. And according to crime statistics, most of the people who break into our homes are people we know, and they know us as well. So please be very careful. If you are even going to pay them, usually I suggest you pay them using electronic means. But if you are paying the person 5 cedis, yet you bring a wand of cash, remove 5 cedis for the person, then you are basically telling the person, I have a lot of money at home, and in the night they might come after those monies. So in all, let us exercise a great deal of situational awareness at all times. Let us move in groups, and let us avoid dark places. And we'll also be contributing in our own way, towards ensuring security this season.
Adib Sani, thank you so much for your time. He's a security analyst, and he's been helping us understand the situation we have now and what we can do to check the safety of our country.